Hey guys, welcome back. It's Joseph. Quick and simple gospel. Yeshua, Jesus, came to this earth, lived a perfect 33 years, was crucified on a cross for our sins, buried in a tomb for 3 days, and rose from the grave on the third day. We are saved through faith in Christ alone and by no other name. Amen. So, good evening, guys. Hope you're all doing well. We are back again. And in this video, we're going to talk about the 666 connections between Donald Trump and Barack Obama. And then stick around to the end. We have a new 666 connection to Ozzy that I got from Decoding with Cody. Alright, so stick around to the end, and we're going to talk about that. But anyways, hope you guys are doing well. Hey, Alex, or Alexa. It says Alex A. I don't know if it's Alexa or Alex A. But anyways, much love. Hope you're doing well. And much love to everyone in the chat. So this video just came out with Trump saying 666, which inspired me to make this video. So no, I don't think Trump's the Antichrist, but I do think he works with the Antichrist, Barack Obama. And I do believe Donald Trump is serving Satan, that's for sure. Don't forget MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan. We're going to go over that and all kinds of stuff. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get started here. And if you're coming in late, don't worry, we'll do a recap. But do me a favor, guys, when you come in, please hit the like button. Very much appreciated. Helps out the algorithm and helps more people find the video. And also, please hit the share button. That way we can get this out to more people. Alright, guys, here we go. Hey, Maggie. Yeah, God bless you, Alex. Alright, guys, so let me play you the clip that inspired me to make this video. I thought I was done for today, but nope, I'm back, and I think we're going to be on here for at least an hour. We got a lot to talk about. Hey, Bones. Here, let me pull up the chat on my screen, too, in front of me. I haven't been doing that lately. I got the TV in front of me so I can see my picture, but I keep forgetting I can pull up the live chat also on my screen, which is very helpful. If you were in the first stream today, after 2 hours, all of a sudden the live stream, it didn't, I could still read new comments, but I couldn't scroll up and read old comments for some reason. I don't know why. But anyways, let me play this clip. All right. We'll play it twice. Here we go.
It was brutal, very unfair. We achieved more in 6 months than almost any administration could accomplish in 8 years, and we're going to have a lot of good 6 months left. We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6, so we'll keep going. And
did you hear that? He said, we're going to have 6 and then another 6 and then another 6. 666. You heard it. Let's hear it one more time.
brutal. It was brutal, very unfair. We achieved more in 6 months than almost any administration could accomplish in 8 years, and we're going to have a lot of good 6 months left. We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6, so we'll keep going. And
all right, so that's the first part I want to talk about. Trump talks, he says we're going to have a great 6, then another 6, and another 6. That's very clear 666 coding right there, okay? Now, listen to what he says before that.
brutal. It was brutal, very unfair. We achieved more in 6 months than almost any administration could accomplish in 8 years, and we're...
Okay, he said we achieved more in 6 months than any administration could achieve in 8 years. So that's a 68 coding. Let's hear that part again.
Brutal. It was brutal, very unfair. We achieved more in 6 months than almost any administration could accomplish in 8 years, and we're...
All right, we achieved more in 6 months than any administration could accomplish in 8 years. So he says 6 and 8 there. Okay, I think this is why. Okay, 68, big number, Antichrist equals 68. Barack Obama equals 68. Donald John Trump equals 68. Donald J. Trump equals 68. All right? So, you know, a lot of people think Trump's the Antichrist. A lot of people think Obama's the Antichrist. I personally think it's Obama. All right? And I'm going to show you why in the slideshow. But you guys heard him. He said, we've accomplished more in 6 months than any other administration could accomplish in 8 years. And then he goes on to say 666. So you got the 68, which is Antichrist, and then you have the 666. So Barack Obama, 68, Antichrist, 68, Donald John Trump, 68, Donald J. Trump, 68. Now, do you remember when this happened? President Biden, after budget talks, we will get it done in 6 minutes, 6 days, or 6 weeks. Remember that? Now, that doesn't mean Biden is the Antichrist. It just means he works for Satan too, right? So I just wanted to remind you of that. When President Biden said after budget talks, we will get it done in 6 minutes, 6 days, or 6 weeks. You remember when Donald Trump announced he was running for re-election? We got that news November 15th. That was 666 days after Trump's last full day in office. Remember that? What are the odds? Donald Trump announces re-election 666 days after his last full day in office. And remember, when he announced re-election, it was 103 days after Obama's birthday, and it was 103 weeks before the election. Obama equals 103. You remember when Obama was with Eminem in Michigan, 103 days after the song Antichrist was released by Eminem? The first part of the song, The Devil Came to Michigan. So you have Obama with Eminem in Michigan 103 days after he releases the song Antichrist. He's with the Antichrist, right? Obama 103, Eminem 103, Dragon 103. When you write out 666, it equals 103. Remember, if you add up the 4 base ciphers of Barack Hussein Obama, it equals 666. If you type it in the calculator, you get 163, 64, 323, and 116. You add that up, it equals 666. Obama chef ID'd as paddleboarder who drowned near former President's Martha's Vineyard estate. That was in the news July 24th, 2023. That was 6 years, 6 months, and 6 days after Obama's last full day in office. And remember, that happened at Obama's estate on Turkeyland Cove, which equals 666, like the fallen angels, 666. Remember when Michelle Obama's mom died? That was in the news May 31st, 2024. If you go back 666 days, you land on Barack Obama's birthday. When Obama announced he was running for president, it was February 10th, 2007. Obama was 45 years, 6 months, and 6 days old. Strong's 4566 is Satan. Now, how about that? That's very specific, right? When Obama announced he was running for president, he was 45 years, 6 months, 6 days old. Strong's 4566 is Satan. Now remember, when you hear Obama's slogan, "Yes, we can," when you hear "Yes, we can" backwards, you'll hear "Thank you, Satan." And I would play it for you, but I don't want to play someone's YouTube video and get a copyright. But you can look that up. Go to YouTube, type in "Yes, we can, thank you, Satan." How about this? This was on Obama.org. Happy birthday, President Obama. Join us in celebrating President Obama's 60th birthday by chipping in. Get it? Chipping in like a mark. Or telling us how you've given back to your community. Help us make President Obama's 60th birthday the most special one yet by donating $6, $60, or $600. Or an amount of your choosing. Come on now, guys. This is Obama.org. They say you can donate $6, 60, or 600. Add that up. What do you get? 666, guys. I mean, come on. This stuff is so obvious. You would think videos like this would be absolutely viral. You would think. 600 plus 60 plus 6. That's 666. Another name for Satan, dragon. See how dragon is 32, 103, 31, like Obama is 32, 103, 31? Luke 10:18, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Strong's 1300, Barack, lightning. Strong's 1116, Bama, a high place. So Barack Obama means lightning from a high place. Like Luke 10:18, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Remember the Luke 10:18 Satan shoes from Lil Nas X, which are in the video J Christ, where he sold the shoes with the Luke 10:18 on them, 666 pairs for $1,018 a pair, like Luke 10:18. And remember who is represented in that video? This guy who looks a lot like Barack Obama. This is in the J Christ video. And for the record, let me type this out. Let me show you how Satan shoes equals Antichrist. We talked about this earlier today. See how Satan shoes is 121 and 149 like Antichrist, 121, 149? There's Obama represented in the video with the 10:18 Satan shoes. That video came out when Lil Nas X had 19.2 million subs, 192. Like Obama, 192. Great Tribulation, 192. Leave the World Behind, 192. Obama's movie, which ends in the communist bunker, communist dead in the year 192. Remember what happens at the end of that movie? The little girl finishes the last episode of Friends, season 10, episode 18, like Luke 10:18, and the director's birthday of that movie from Obama's birthday, 10 months, 18 days. Remember Matthew Perry died from Friends right before that movie came out, said he had a man crush on Obama, and I just went through all that earlier. Perhaps I should do it again. Yeah, I guess real quick. We'll come back to this part. That's my problem. I get going on something and then I want to show other stuff. But anyways, right before Obama's movie came out with the connection to Friends, you had Matthew Perry die, who said he had a man crush on Obama. Remember, he died 666 months after his character's birthday. Chandler Bing. Bing equals 192, like Obama 192. Leave the World Behind 192, ends in the communist bunker, dead in 192. Obama 192. Here he is with Obama. Said he had a man crush on Obama. The star of Leave the World Behind, Julia Roberts, her birthday October 28th. And Matthew Perry used to date Julia Roberts, and he died on her birthday right before the movie came out. And remember, he died on the day, leaving 64 days left in the year. Matthew Perry, 64. Kill, 64. The Antichrist, 64. Barack Hussein Obama, 64. But yeah, he died 666 months from his character's birthday. And anyways, the other 192 connection with Friends. Remember, there were rumors that Obama was dating Jennifer Aniston from Friends. She was born 192 days after Obama's birthday. But yeah. He drowned. Here he is spitting the water out. But anyways, the connection with the 192 being 192. But yeah, the last episode of Friends is season 10, episode 18, just like the 10:18 Satan shoes. So they both have the 10:18 and the 192 connection. All right. So yeah. He released the video J Christ with 19.2 million subs like Obama, Great Tribulation, Leave the World Behind. And then don't forget, Satan shoes equals Antichrist. And I mean, do you guys think it's a coincidence that Obama was represented in this video with the 1018 Satan shoes, that confirmed everything I was talking about for years. And then the fact that it came out with 19.2 million subs when I've been going on and on about the 192 and Obama. Anyways, moving on from that. And guys, please hit that like button when you come in. So remember when Obama tested positive for COVID 222 days from his birthday? They called it Wuhan coronavirus 222, like beast, like event 201, World Economic Forum, the beast of Revelation, Antichrist system, the Antichrist Barack Obama. They're all 222. And then COVID vaccines, mandatory vaccination, vaccine cards, as above, so below, order out of chaos. They're all 222. And COVID was declared a national emergency 222 days from Obama's birthday. And if you think that's a coincidence, it was declared a pandemic exactly 222 months after 9/11. And if you think that's a coincidence, the first U.S. case of COVID was 222 days from Trump's birthday, who calls himself the father of the jab. And Trump is 222, and Trump Organization is 222. And remember, when Trump just won the election, 222 days from his birthday, and then Trump took the stand 222 days from his birthday in the 222-page lawsuit against him, against the Trump Organization 222. Come on now. And if you think that's a coincidence, remember when Trump's sister died 222 days from her birthday, and you remember when Ivana died 222 days from her birthday, and Ivana's 222. Now back to the 666. Don't ever forget, COVID was declared a pandemic March 11th, 2020, exactly 666 days after the Clade X pandemic simulation. And here's another Antichrist connection to Obama. Remember when Israel was allegedly attacked by Hamas October 7th? That was 64 days after Obama's birthday. Israel equals 64. Barack Hussein Obama 64, the Antichrist 64. But for the clincher here, on October 8th, Israel formally declared war 666 days before Obama's 64th birthday. And again, Israel 64, Barack Hussein Obama 64, the Antichrist 64. Mary said she had to shut her phone off and come back in. They won't let me share or comment. So strange. Is anybody else having any issue like that? Let me know. Is anyone having an issue where you can't comment or you had to leave and come back in? I don't know what's going on. I had an issue earlier today. After 2 hours of streaming, it wouldn't let me scroll up and read the chat. Hey, Jacob. Can you guys try to leave a comment? Make sure it's working okay. Hey, Shay. Hey, Maggie. Maggie said I had to go out and come back because the sound was breaking up. Man. Guys, is the sound... Am I having a sound issue too? Man, I'm so tired of these issues. Bone said I had to switch devices. No joke. I'm rebooting my phone currently. Was I breaking up, guys? Oh my goodness, dude. I am so sick of these problems, man. A little. Man, this is so frustrating for me, man. All I want to do is put out good quality work, and it's just always something, man. Sound was breaking up for a second. All right, I'll continue on. I'm 20 minutes into this. I'm not going to restart it, man. Don't forget MAGA. It wasn't horrible. I had issues with Cody's stream earlier. It was buffering. You sound okay for the time being, though. Yeah, but still, it cut out earlier. That's freaking horrible, man. And it's not just me being a perfectionist. I mean, it's every single day I go live. It seems to be some kind of technical difficulty. A little bit kind of echoing, but here you are fine. I don't know what to say, man. I'll have to go listen to it when I'm done. I mean, again, I have a brand new device. a brand new modem, a brand new router, and I paid to have them moved right outside the door. They're 5 feet behind me. Literally nothing I can do. I can't get a new device. I can't get a new modem, new router. I mean, this, and I prefer to go live from a cell phone. Yeah, well, I don't know, man. I prefer to do it this way with the phone and the computer in front of me, but oh well, I don't want to ruin the stream any more than I probably already have. Um, don't forget MAGA down here. It's the highest degree of the Church of Satan, right? Make America Great Again, MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan. They say Obama was born in Hawaii. What does Hawaii equal? 666. Obama's birthday, August 4th, the 216th day of the year. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. Obama born on the day leaving 149 days left in the year. Antichrist, 149. You think that's a coincidence? It's cutting out? Oh my gosh. Is it cutting out again? I'm good? All right, guys. I'm sorry I'm getting frustrated. I just... it's been a long 5 years. Yeah, I'm trying to power through, Shay. I'm so sick of these issues, man. Spiritual warfare to the max. Obama born on the 216th day of the year. 6 times 6 times 6, 216. 149 days left in the year. Antichrist, 149. Yeah, the devil is definitely trying to stop me. It's no joke. Now, remember, they just had a pandemic simulation called Preparing for Disease X, which was 201 days before Obama's birthday. King of Babylon, Barack Obama, 201. The son of perdition, Barack Hussein Obama, 201. Event 201 on 1018, like Luke 1018. And not only was Preparing for Disease X 201 days before Obama's birthday, it was 201 weeks after COVID was declared a pandemic. Sounded crazy when you said Obama? I don't know what to do, man. Should I just restart? You guys are telling me every other second, a little breakup, a little breakup. I mean, let me just, I'm going to go to the other room and listen myself, man. I'll be back. All right. I listened to a little bit of it. I didn't hear too much. I did hear when I said Obama, it sounded all robot-y. That's weird. You guys just let me know if it keeps messing up, man. I'm sorry I'm under such spiritual warfare with this stuff. I've been going through this for months with the sound issues. I went through a lot to try to make it stop, but I literally think Satan is just trying to get me to stop. Yeah, literally the devil's trying to frustrate me. That's what it is. I mean, we know Satan is the prince of the power of the air. He definitely has the ability to mess up my sound. That's for sure. So remember you had Event 201, right? And then we had, the guy connected to that, William Henry Gates 201. And we had Preparing for Disease X 201 weeks after COVID was declared a pandemic, and it was also 201 days before Obama's birthday. And Event 201 was on 10:18, like Luke 10:18. I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Barak means lightning, bomb of the heights. King of Babylon, Barack Obama, 201. The son of perdition, Barack Hussein Obama, 201. Then we had the Georgia Guidestones, which went down on 7/6, remember? And where is it here? Remember the Guidestones went down on 7/6, Barack Obama, 76. Obama's Book of Promised Land, 76. You got the 76s all over Obama's movie, Leave the World Behind. They got to take exit 76 to get to the vacation house. They got 76 on the coffee cup at the start of that movie. The Guidestones are built under the alias RC Christian, 76. Yeah, they're not Crocs, they're flip-flops, but that's funny. The Guidestones are built under the alias RC Christian, 76, Skull and Bones, 76. And when did the Guidestones open? On 322, number of Skull and Bones. Member of Skull and Bones, George W. Bush, turned 76 years old when the Guidestones went down. Right? But anyways, remember the Guidestones were 231 inches tall, and they opened 231 days after Obama's birthday, and the first rule of the Guidestones equals 231. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, 231. And then they had a pandemic simulation called catastrophic contagion, which equaled 231, and that was held 231 weeks after Clade X. And remember, Clade X was 666 days before COVID was declared a pandemic. Also, catastrophic contagion equals 231. It was held on Ignatius of Loyola's birthday. Ignatius of Loyola equals 231. We're going to talk about that later with Ozzy, because Ozzy died 231 days before, or 231 days after his birthday. Like Ignatius of Loyola, 231. And remember, Ignatius of Loyola is also 201, like Ozzy Osbourne, 201. But anyways, don't forget also, monkeypox was declared an outbreak 231 weeks after COVID was declared a pandemic. Monkeypox outbreak 231. And no, Diane, I don't think they're messing with me. I think I probably was breaking up because several people said it. But anyways, back to the Guidestones. Don't forget they were in Elberton, Georgia. Elberton is 44, Georgia 44. Like Obama number 44, they were 19 feet 3 inches tall, 193, the 44th prime number, and the Guidestones opened 19 weeks and 3 days before Obama's birthday. They were in Elbert County, Georgia, which is 222, like the Antichrist Barack Obama 222. And then Elberton, Georgia is 153, like Antichrist Obama 153, Barry Soetoro 153, Jesuit Order 153, the Illuminati 153. The Pet Goat 153 was on page 153 of Reading Mastery 2. That's the story they were reading in the classroom on 9/11. And Heliofont equals 153, the makers of iPet Goat 2. Don't forget iPet Goat 2 equals 666. Obama's the star of that film. Now, here is what Cody found. And Cody actually heard this on another channel. I'm not going to mention that channel. But I heard it from Cody. That's all that matters. And anyways, Yeah, I'm not even going to mention that channel. He pointed out that there was a podcast from the Osbournes. It was called The Satan Bilderberg Group and the Illuminati Invite Only. Okay? That episode was on September 26, 2023. The episode called Satan Bilderberg Group and the Illuminati Invite Only. Ozzy just happened to die 666 days after that podcast. After the Satan podcast. And this might be a little easier to read. But yeah, look at that, guys. The Satan podcast by the Osbournes, September 26, 2023. Ozzy died 666 days after the Satan podcast. Can you believe that? And speaking of Satan, Satan equals 232, Ozzy equals 232. Ozzy died 232 days after his birthday, including the end date, and he also died 2 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days from the anniversary of the Church of Satan. How about that? So you put those two together. He died... Yeah, I got that, Bones. I got RC Christian up here, 76. Think about that. Ozzy died 666 days after the Osbourne Satan podcast, and Ozzy died 232 days from his birthday. Ozzy 232, Satan 232, 2 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days from the Church of Satan's birthday. That's pretty crazy. And speaking of 666, you guys let me know if the sound is still okay. I hope it wasn't real bad. How long did it last, guys? Like, did it last for several minutes or what? It was a one-time thing? Let me know. Was it going on for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the whole stream, or just like 1 minute? Because I haven't been able to hear it. I mean, all I can say is it's going to keep happening. As long as I'm exposing Satan, you know. It was only a few seconds, it wasn't bad. Like, I hope I haven't been cutting in and out for the last 30 minutes. You know. You guys let me know. But yeah, I mean, just expect it. It's going to be a dogfight every time I go live. Who knows? You know. Anyways, guys, speaking of 666, you know, Ozzy did the song Mr. Crowley, which equals 666, and he died on 7/22. He died 7 months and 22 days from Crowley's death date. And, you know, Crowley was all into Thelema and the number 93 and Saturn equals 93, Prince of Darkness 93, and Mr. Crowley equals 132, and he died 132 days from Crowley's death date. How about that? Mr. Crowley, 132, he died 132 days from Crowley's death date, and England is 132. And then Crowley's known, this is a credit to Franchot Pearson for this one. Crowley's known for 777 and other Kabbalistic writings. Ozzy died 77 years and 7 months after Crowley died. How about that? Don't forget, Order Out of Chaos is 777. And he died 82 days before Crowley's birthday, Black Sabbath, 82. And then he recorded the song Mr. Crowley on 322, Skull and Bones, 322, right? And including the end date, he died 123 days from the anniversary of recording that song. Ozzy Osbourne, 123, Ozzy born on 12/3/123. And anyways, credit to Gematrinator85 Derek for this. He pointed out that Ozzy was born 12 months and 3 days after Aleister Crowley. And Ozzy Osbourne equals 123, born on 12/3. Pretty crazy, all those connections to Crowley, right? So I'm not going to recap that stuff again because I've already done it. But we are going to talk about the other connections. We just talked about the 322. Remember, Mr. Crowley recorded on 322. He died 123 days from the anniversary of that. Ozzy Osbourne 123. And so Mr. Crowley was recorded on 322. John Michael Ozzy Osbourne 322, the number of skull and bones. Crazy Train was recorded on 322. And the Prince of Darkness was released on 322. So 322, the number of skull and bones, well, he's dead at 76, right? And again, skull and bones equals 76. When did the Georgia Guidestones go down? On 7/6, right? When did the Georgia Guidestones open? On 322. You see the connection? He died surrounded by love, 76. Heavy metal singer, 76. Ozzy Osbourne death, 76. He also died 76 days after we got the new Pope. And there was another 76 with the Pope. Let me pull it up for you. It was another find by Derek from Gematria. Let me go to the Pope's birthday. So he also died 7 weeks and 6 days before the Pope's birthday, and 76 days after we got the new Pope at the age of 76. So anyways, that's it for Crowley and the skull and bones connection. Now we got a little bit more here. Remember, Ozzy Osbourne 201, Ignatius of Loyola 201. That's the founder of the Jesuit Order 201. We just had the first Jesuit Pope die, Jorge Mario Bergoglio 201, who lived in suite number 201 at the Domus Sancti Marte 201, Catholic Pope 201. Those Georgia Guidestones went down 201 days from the Pope's birthday, and Pope Francis died 201 days from the death anniversary of St. Francis of Assisi, who he got his name from. And remember when Ozzy tested positive for COVID, it was announced by Sharon Osbourne, April 28th, 201 days from her birthday. And Ozzy bit the head off a bat on 20/1. COVID connected to the bat, right? Ozzy Osbourne 201, Event 201. Shout out to KJ Malone for this big find. Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne were born 201 weeks apart. Can you believe that? And then back to the 231. He died 231 days from his birthday, like Ignatius of Loyola 231, the founder of the Jesuit Order, Singer 231. Then back to the Georgia Guidestones. Remember, they were 231 inches tall, which I believe is going to be back here again. Remember, the Guidestones were 231 inches tall. First rule of the Guidestones equals 231. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance of nature, 231. Open 231 days after Obama's birthday. They went down on 7/6. Skull and Bones, 76. Barack Obama, 76. R.C. Christian, 76. On George W. Bush's 76th birthday, member of Skull and Bones. And now Ozzy is dead at 76 with the 322 connection. John Michael Ozzy Osbourne 322. Skull and Bones 76. The Guidestones went down on 7/6, opened on 322, and they were 231 inches tall. Ozzy dead 231 days from his birthday. Like Ignatius of Loyola, founder of the Jesuits. I think I missed this 92 here. So back to the Pope. Jorge Mario Bergoglio 201, like Ozzy Osbourne 201. Not including the end date. Ozzy died 92 days after the Pope died. Ozzy equals 92. His last show in Birmingham, England, 92. And then including the end date, he died 93 days after the Pope died. Prince of Darkness, 93. And he also died 93 days before Ignatius of Loyola's birthday, the founder of the Jesuits. Prince of Darkness, 93. Don't forget War Pigs, 93. the connection with Thelema and Aleister Crowley in the 93, Saturn 93. And then back to Ignatius of Loyola. Remember, he's got the 231, dead 231 days from his birthday. And then the leader of the Jesuits, Arturo Sosa, who's also 76 years old. He died 3 months and 22 days from his birthday, like John Michael Ozzy Osbourne 322. And shout out to Gematria85 on this. He also died 1 month and 23 days before the Pope's birthday, Ozzy Osbourne 123. And Ozzy died 299 days after the anniversary of the Jesuits. He was born 299 days before the anniversary of the Jesuits. John Michael Ozzy Osbourne 299. Prince of Darkness 177, the Jesuit Order 177. Then for another Jesuit connection, don't forget Parkinson's 134, the Jesuits 134. He died 134 days before his birthday. Back to the 201s. I know I'm all over the place. This is a very big, complicated decode. It's hard to keep track, but remember, Ozzy Osbourne has the 201. We just had the death of Malcolm Jamal Warner on the 201st day of the year. There were 201 original episodes of The Cosby Show. He's from Jersey City, New Jersey, where they have the 201 area code. And dead at 54, The Cosby Show 54. Yeah, I got that, Bones. The Cosby Show 54, Bill Cosby 54. Yep, that's what I was just talking about, Bones. Right here, John Michael Ozzy Osbourne, 322. All right, and then let's go back. This 232 connection is even more crazy now that we have the addition from Cody. And if you're just now coming in, Cody found this. There was a podcast from the Osbournes called The Satan, Bilderberg Group, and the Illuminati Invite Only episode. That was September 26, 2023. And Ozzy died 666 days after the Satan podcast. How about that? And on top of that, including the end date, he died 232 days after his birthday. Ozzy 232, Satan 232. He died 2 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days from the Church of Satan's founding date. 2 months, 3 weeks, 2 days from the Church of Satan's founding date. That's 232. Ozzy 232, Satan 232, dead 232 days from his birthday, and 666 days after the Satan podcast by the Osbournes. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, shout out Decoding with Cody. And he died 2,270 weeks after biting the head off the bat. 227, like he died on 22/7. Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, is 2207. The last episode of the Osbournes, March 21st. He died 242 days before the anniversary of the last episode, Black Sabbath 242. And he died 123 days after the anniversary of the last episode, Ozzy Osbourne 123. Including the end date, he died 135 days before his birthday, Crazy Train 135 forwards and backwards. And he died 33 weeks after his birthday. England 33, Rockstar 33, Masonry 33. And then he died on a date with 7438 date numerology. Killing is 7438. Don't forget Lucifer is also 7438. And hopefully this is the last time I ever have to talk about Ozzy Osbourne. But yeah, how crazy. Dead 666 days after the Satan podcast. How's the sound, guys? Let me know. All right, we're going to recap the connections to Obama. We're probably going to skip over that 231 connection because I've mentioned it like 50 times in the last 2 days. But yeah, we'll do a quick recap on Obama and Trump. If anybody wants to help out, here's how you can support. Any support, very much appreciated. I got PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, Venmo. Been going live a lot lately. I've put out multiple live streams in the last few days. So If anyone wants to help, very much appreciated.
Brutal. It was brutal, very unfair. We achieved more in 6 months than almost any administration could accomplish in 8 years, and we're going to have a lot of good 6 months left. We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6, and we'll keep going. And brutal. It was brutal, very unfair.
Did you hear that? We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6, like 666.
We achieved more in 6 months than almost any administration could accomplish in 8 years, and we're going to have a lot of good 6 months left. We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6, and we'll keep going. And brutal.
All right, so you got that clear 666 coding from Trump, right? Well, listen to what he says before that. He gives the 68 code.
It was brutal, very unfair. We achieved more in 6 months than almost any administration could accomplish in 8 years, and we're going to have a lot.
More in 6 months than any administration could accomplish in 8 years for your 68. Barack Obama, 68. Donald John Trump, 68. Donald J. Trump, 68. Antichrist, 68. One of them's the Antichrist. I think it's Barack Obama. Now, remember this from Biden. President Biden, after budget talks, we will get it done in 6 minutes, 6 days, or 6 weeks. Right? 666 from him. Is it all a coincidence? I wish people could wake the heck up, man. Maybe if people finally woke up, I wouldn't have to, it's just, man, I'd love to go off grid, man. I'd love for the power to go out, never come back on. It's not that I don't sometimes enjoy doing this. It's just, it's so obvious. It is so obvious what's going on. I feel like I'm in the Truman Show or the Matrix. Like, you could show this to your friends and family and they just will not wake up. It's the same people in the chat every day. It's like, and then you finally build up the channel and then you get deleted 14 times. And it's like, I'm here showing the most obvious stuff ever, and all credit to God. But it's like, how much longer? Like, can we get out of here? Or can some, I don't know, do I need to be the one to build a community? Maybe that's what God wants me to do. Maybe stop doing decodes every single day and go work on the community where everybody can try to live in some kind of peace before Jesus comes. I don't know. It's like, imagine doing this for 5 years straight, showing this stuff every single day, man, and it really doesn't get me anywhere. I do it because I have to do it. I'm called to do it. If I didn't do it, I would feel really guilty. If if you don't warn the people, the blood's on your hands. But I just wish it would come to an end, man. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. It's really, it's crazy. All right, enough complaining. It's just, how much more obvious does this stuff need to be, man? I don't know. I thought, what's crazy? I passed out 1,000 of those flyers locally that said COVID was declared a pandemic 666 days after pandemic simulation. Not one person in my local town reached out to me and said, hey, I got one of your flyers, man. That's really amazing. That's crazy. I also have it written on my vehicle for the last 3 years. I didn't write it on there right away. I think either 3 or 4 years ago I put it on there. Not one person. Check this out. I had one person, they did leave a comment on my channel. They said, hey, we just saw your car. You're an idiot. That's the only person that ever reached out. Now, I did have one person in the neighborhood that somebody in the neighborhood was driving around. They said, hey, I saw your car, and they came to talk to me. But as far as out in public or passing out the flyers, no one has ever reached out. Yeah, zombie apocalypse. Yeah, I was in the dark too, but that was before the whole world flipped upside down. I woke up before COVID. Right before. I woke up in August of 2019, started seeing the number 222 everywhere, before I ever heard of gematria and no one heard of COVID. And I started warning people that, hey, the world's about to change. Jesus is coming soon, and the whole world changed connected to that number 222. But yeah, we were all asleep at one point, but, you know, it's a shame, man. I promise you, even though I was asleep, if somebody would have showed me this stuff with like date durations and undeniable proof, I would have woke up. Because I've always believed in Jesus my whole life. Even though I was asleep, I was still part of the world. But anyways, don't forget when Donald Trump announced re-election 666 days after his last full day in office, which was 103 days after Obama's birthday and 103 weeks before the election. And Obama is 103. And then we had Obama with Eminem in Michigan 103 days after the song Antichrist was released. Obama 103, Eminem 103, Dragon 103, 666, 103. First part of the song, the devil came to Michigan. They were together in Michigan. I'm sure it's a coincidence they were together 103 days after the song Antichrist. Eminem, who wrote the song, well, probably didn't write it, but whatever. It's his song. He's with the Antichrist, Obama, 103 days after the song Antichrist. Obama and Eminem are 103 in the same cipher. How is that a coincidence? And it's a coincidence that Trump announced re-election 666 days after his last full day in office, 103 days after Obama's birthday, and 103 weeks and 0 days before the election. Are both of these 103 connections to Obama a coincidence? Y'all let me know in the comments after the fact. Or you can let me know now. Add up the 4 base ciphers of Barack Hussein Obama. It equals 666. What are the odds? Obama's chef. His death in the news. 6 years, 6 months, 6 days after Obama's last full day in office. That happened at Turkeyland Cove, where Obama's house is, which equals 666. Like the fallen angels is 666. And when Big Mike's mom died, that was in the news May 31st, 2024. You go back 666 days. You just happened to land on Barack Obama's birthday. When Obama announced he was running for president, he was 45 years, 6 months, 6 days old. Strong's 4566 just happens to be Satan. Wonder if it's a coincidence. How about Obama's slogan? Yes, we can. Listen to it backwards. You'll hear, thank you, Satan. And I don't want to get a copyright or I'd play it for you, but go ahead and listen to that video. Look it up on YouTube. Here's Obama.org for Obama's 60th birthday. They asked people to chip in either $6, $60, or $600. How much more obvious can you be? And Obama's about to turn what, 64? Right? I pointed this out for his 60th birthday. That's how long I've been showing this stuff. Why do you think I'm on channel number 14? And why do you think they mess with my streams every single day? And don't notify anyone and keep me buried in the algorithm? Because I'm showing stuff like this, man. And I'm going to keep showing it. Even if I'm off grid, even if that is what God leads me to do, go off grid and invite people to come out to my land and we can all try to live in some kind of peace and not have to pay $3,000 in bills every month. Even if that's what God calls me to do, I'll never stop doing the decodes. Even if I can only do 1 or 2 decodes a week, I'm never going to stop. So take that, Satan. Jesus is king, and you're not going to stop me, ever. Even if I got to slow down and do something else for a while, I'm at least going to put out 1 or 2 videos a week, no matter what. I prefer to do this every day. Well, I say that. I do it every day because there's big breaking satanic news every day, and I just can't seem to let it go. I can't skip a decode. You know me. But anyways, yeah. Obama's 60th birthday. You can donate $6, $60, or $600, which adds up to 666. That's on Obama's website, man. How about this? Obama equals 32, 103, 31, like dragon. Another name for Satan. Dragon. I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Barak means lightning. Bama, the heights. Like Luke 10:18. Little Nas X with the Luke 10:18 Satan shoes. 666 pairs, which sold for $1,018 a pair. That's in the J. Christ video. He's wearing those. Guess who's in the J. Christ video? This guy. Wow, who's that look like? Barack Obama. Wow. And how many subs did he have when he released the video? 19.2, like 192, like Obama, like Great Tribulation. Like Leave the World Behind, Obama's movie 192, which ends in the Commodus Bunker, where they finish the last episode of Friends, which is season 10, episode 18. And the director of Leave the World Behind, his birthday and Obama's birthday, separated by 10 months and 18 days. And since we're talking about the 192, I guess we're going back to Chandler Bing. Hold on. Remember, Chandler Bing, a.k.a. Matthew Perry, who died right before Obama's movie, connected to Friends. Matthew Perry from Friends. He played Chandler Bing. Bing, 192. Obama, 192. Leave the World Behind, 192. Ends in the Commodus Bunker, dead in the year 192. There's Matthew Perry with Obama. Yes, Matthew Perry did publicly express having a man crush on Obama. Just happened to die right before Obama's movie, which is all connected to Friends. And who's the star of Friends? Julia Roberts. When is her birthday? October 28th. What if I told you Matthew Perry died on October 28th and he used to date Julia Roberts? And for the clincher, Matthew Perry died 666 months after his character's birthday. Bing. Look at that. Matthew Perry. See how Chandler Bing's birthday, April 8th, 1968 in the show? Look at that. Matthew Perry died 666 months after his character's birthday. Because it's all a coincidence. And then Matthew Perry equals 64, dead on the day, leaving 64 days left in the year, like the Antichrist 64, Barack Hussein Obama 64, and kill 64. And we just had Warner die. You know, he's also from a sitcom, dead at 54, like Matthew Perry. Drowned equals Warner and murder. Perfect match. I'm sure it's all a coincidence. And then another coincidence, Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston, who's from Friends. Dating rumors, right? Yeah, she just happened to be born. Jennifer Aniston born 192 days after Obama's birthday. You know, like Leave the World Behind, which is all about Friends, 192. Obama, 192. So anyways, you know, I played the videos multiple times over the last couple days where Matthew Perry is joking about drowning in the show Friends. Videos where he's joking about drowning. I played those before, but I'm not going to play it again. But here he is spitting out water in the opening scene, you know. Much love to Gene Spliced, and see, Theo Huxtable had a birthday in the show, August 4th. Obama's birthday. Obama equals 84. That show came out in 84. Anyways, it's a long list. Yeah. Theo's death in the news. 163 days left in the year. Theo, 163. Drowning accident, 163. Barack Hussein Obama, 163. And then 38 connection. It's too much to get into. It's just too much. We talked earlier in the stream about the 128s and the bridge collapse, which you guys have heard 100 times. But let's go ahead and make it 101. Why not? Remember that bridge collapse that was at 128, the Francis Scott Key Bridge that collapsed at 128, 128 days before Francis Scott Key's birthday, when bridge collapses 128, and it happened in Maryland 128 in Obama's movie. A cargo ship loses control like a ship lost control and hit that bridge. And the ship in Obama's movie is called White Lion, which is 128, like Power Grid 128, the movie about the power grid going down. And that movie came out on Netflix on December 8th, which is 12/8/128. And the bridge also collapsed 128 days after Biden's birthday, who was with Obama, who was president at the time. And I'm sure it's a coincidence in that movie. The cargo ship White Lion, which equals 128, it loses power and comes ashore with 128 minutes left in the movie. And then 128 minutes into the movie, there's a bridge collapse, and President Barack Obama's 128, the Antichrist Barack Hussein Obama, 128. And you would think with information like this, I'd have more than 35 people watching, but what can you do? So don't forget, after I was talking about Obama and the connection to 222 for like a couple years, about 2 years to be exact. Hi, Bonnie. You're saying you're on now. Does that mean you're just now joining? Or was there another sound issue and now you're back? Let me know. How's the sound going? Is it going okay? Let me know. Sorry I'm a little bit animated. You could say I'm on one. You just joined. Okay, great, Bonnie. Yeah, I've had it up to here with Satan. I would like him to be destroyed now. That would be fantastic. Former President Barack Obama tests positive for COVID. 222 days from his birthday. Can you believe it? When the Antichrist Barack Obama's 222, Beast, Wuhan Coronavirus, Event 201, World Economic Forum, the Beast of Revelation, Antichrist System. They're all 222. And mandatory vaccination, COVID vaccines, vaccine cards, as above, so below, order out of chaos, are all 222. Right? So if you think that's a coincidence, tell me, is it a coincidence that COVID was declared a national emergency 222 days from Obama's birthday? Or is it a coincidence that COVID was declared a pandemic 222 months exactly after 9/11? Or is it a coincidence that the first U.S. case of COVID was 222 days from Trump's birthday, the father of the jab, when Trump is 222 and Trump Organization's 222 and Donald John Trump Sr.'s 222? Or how about when Trump won the election 222 days from his birthday? Or how about the 222-page lawsuit against Trump where he took the stand 222 days before his birthday? Or how about when Trump's sister died 222 days from her birthday? Or how about when Ivana died 222 days from her birthday and Ivana's 222? Now I'm down to 30. Man, people have either heard this enough or they don't like Animated Joe. COVID was declared a pandemic March 11th, 2020, exactly 666 days after the Cladex pandemic simulation, May 15th, 2018. These are my cards that I made. Passed out 1,000 of those locally. Got kicked out of a church for it, too. Yep. Yeah, Leslie, we are the awake minority. I see the same faces in the chat that I always see. Now we're down to 26. Numbers are dropping quickly. That's okay. I don't care if one person watches. I'm still going to kick Satan's ass. How about this? When Israel was attacked 64 days after Obama's birthday, and Israel equals 64, Barack Hussein Obama 64, the Antichrist 64. And how about when Israel formally declared war 666 days before Obama's 64th birthday, when Israel is 64, attacked 64 days after Obama's birthday? Barack Hussein Obama 64, the Antichrist 64. Probably a coincidence. MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan. Obama born in Hawaii, which equals 666, allegedly. Obama born on the 216th day of the year. 6 times 6 times 6, 216. His birthday, 149 days left in the year. Antichrist, 149. And then you had Preparing for Disease X, 201 weeks after COVID declared a pandemic, like Event 201. Like William Henry Gates 201, and Preparing for Disease X was also 201 days before Obama's birthday. Like Event 201 was on 10/18, like Luke 10/18. King of Babylon, Barack Obama 201. The Son of Perdition, Barack Hussein Obama 201. That Old Serpent 201. And then I'm not going to go through the Georgia Guidestones connection to Obama because it's too long and complicated, and I already repeated it several times in the last couple of days. Go back and listen. It's the 231 connection and the 76 and the 322 and all that. Long story short, they went down on 7/6. Barack Obama equals 76. They were 231 inches tall. They opened 231 days from Obama's birthday, and the first rule of the Guidestones equals 231. That's the main point. And anyways, there's more. Go back and listen. And shout out to Decoding with Cody with possibly the most interesting find of all, with the whole Cody thing, or what Cody thing, the Ozzy thing. And I wasn't going to say his name earlier because he said something about me in his stream today. He didn't mention me by name, but I know who he was talking about, which means you watch my videos. Isn't that funny? Zach Hubbard, Gematria Effect News. Yeah, he mentioned the guy. He claimed that I steal his decodes. He said the Jesus, the guy that begs for money in the name of Jesus is how he referred to me. So he's obviously talking about me. And Cody says he got this from his channel, but of course it wasn't Zach's find because, Zach can't find much on his own. He relies on his callers and commenters. And, that's pretty much all I'm going to say. Never forget that Zach made a whole decode how my father was ritually sacrificed. That's the main reason I have a problem with Zach, or the fact that he craps on Jesus and all that, believe in Jesus. Just saying. But yeah, Cody allegedly heard this on Zach's stream, somebody that called into the show. So this is not Zach's find. This is someone who called into the show. And for the record, Zach, your decode on Ozzy compared to mine, horrible. My decode blows you out of the water. And thank you to Gematrinator and Cody and KJ Malone and everyone that helped. But still, your decode is trash compared to mine. But anyways, thank you, Cody, for this find here. Ozzy died 666 days after the Osbournes had a podcast titled Satan, Bilderberg Group, and the Illuminati Invite Only. So, long story short, Ozzy died 666 days after the Satan podcast. But yeah, never forget, Zach Hubbard made a whole decode, which tells you Zach just pulls numbers out of his butt. By the way, I don't remember exactly how it was. I think it's still on his channel. I actually called in and used some not nice language that day. God forgive me. But he said something like, on a normal year, I think because my dad died last year in 2024, a leap year. He said something like, on a normal year, it would be 201 days from his birthday. Well, it wasn't. It was a leap year. So he did not actually die 201 days from his birthday. And yeah, that was really sad and scummy, dude. I mean, how can you sit there? It's one thing if you don't like me, because I talk about Jesus or whatever. But to sit there and say that my dad was sacrificed, and then to put together some half-assed decode, I mean, just sick, man. You're a sick dude. But yeah, he mentioned me today, not by name. He said he accused me of stealing his decode, which if you look at it, my decode has, let's see, how many connections did I make? And I gave credit to everyone. I gave credit to Gematrinator, Cody, KJ Malone, the people on Facebook, the people on Cody's chat. This is just the key points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The slideshow is over 50 slides. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30. There's 32 connections right there. I know you didn't make 32 connections, and I didn't hear him talk about any of this. He never mentioned that Ozzy tested positive 201 days from Sharon's birthday, or that Sharon and Ozzy were born 201 weeks apart. He didn't make the connection to Ignatius of Loyola. He didn't talk about the Georgia Guidestones. I know for a fact with Aleister Crowley, because this is from Franchot Pearson, he didn't mention the 777. He didn't mention the 7 months and 22 days. He didn't mention Mr. Crowley was 666. He didn't mention this because that's from Gematrinator. And then he definitely didn't mention that Prince of Darkness was released on 322. He didn't mention the Osbournes anniversary, 32 weeks and 2 days. So I don't know how people can sit there and say I steal all their stuff when, like, my decode was literally twice as long as yours. So, anyways, pray for that dude. He needs some serious help. But anyways, where were we? We were here giving credit to Cody. Yes. So not only did Ozzy die 666 days after the Satan podcast from the Osbournes, but Ozzy died 232 days from his birthday. Ozzy 232, Satan 232, and he died 2 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days from the anniversary of the Church of Satan, 232. Satan 232, Ozzy 232. You know, I don't remember him talking about this one either. I don't think he made this connection. And shout out to Cody for the connection on the April 30th, but I made this connection. I didn't see him mention that. He doesn't even use satanic. He uses the 4 base ciphers. So how can you sit there and say he doesn't even use Jewish either? Occasionally he will when he's talking about death and homicide 118. He didn't mention Satan is 232, Ozzy 232, dead 232 days from his birthday, and 2 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days from the Church of Satan's founding date, and 666 days. A caller called in and told him this. So thank you, Cody, for listening to that show, because now I know. But anyways, how about that? He died 666 days from the Osbourne Satan podcast. And if there's any reason to hit the like and the share, it's for this right here. Pretty crazy. But anyways, anyone wants to help out, here's how you can do so. You guys know how to help. And let's listen one more time.
It was brutal, very unfair. We achieved more in 6 months than almost any administration could accomplish in 8 years, and we're going to have a lot of good 6 months left. We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6, and we'll keep going.
We're going to have a 6 and another 6 and another 6. Wow. How fitting from Mr. MAGA himself. The guy who announced he was running for president 666 days after his last full day in office, when MAGA is the highest degree of the Church of Satan. And no, I don't think Trump's the Antichrist. I just think he works with the Antichrist and he serves Satan. I think this guy's the Antichrist, Barack Hussein Obama. But yeah, if you came in late, we talked about a lot today. You know, all kinds of stuff. All right, I think it's time for me to turn this around and go take a break. Maybe go outside, get some fresh air. Let me turn this around. Yep, sure it's a coincidence. I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven, and Barak means lightning, Bama means the heights. Yes, all a coincidence, right? That's why Obama was represented in the J Christ video, where he's wearing the 1018 Satan shoes, right? Like Luke 10:18, right? That's why Obama's in that video, because it's all a coincidence. I'm sure it's also a coincidence. You can't tell in this photo, but if you go watch the video, Little Nas X, which, by the way, Little Nas X equals 44, like lightning 44. Here, let's just pull it up. My point, he's wearing the number 55 jersey. Satan equals 55. But yeah, let's just type in Little Nas X one more time, and then we'll wrap this up. I've had it up to here, y'all, with Satan and this beast system matrix and the haters and the trolls. I'm just a normal dude trying to expose Satan, man. People always hating on me. I don't know why. Probably because they hate Jesus. And I work for Jesus. That's probably why. Oh, come on. Give me the whole decode. Thank you. So yeah, the other thing I could say about it, you can see better here. So in the video with the Satan shoes, where Obama is represented in the video, again, don't forget the 192 connection. It came out with 19.2 million subs. 19.2 million when he released it. I wonder why. Maybe because Obama is 192? Great Tribulation, Leave the World Behind 192, ends in the communist punker who died in 192? Perhaps, right? But anyways, on top of that, and the 1018 Satan shoes, And the fact that Obama is literally represented in the video, that's clear as day, representing Barack Obama, in an Antichrist video called J Christ with the Luke 10:18 Satan shoes, 666 pairs, $1,018 a pair. Barack means lightning, bomb of the heights, like Luke 10:18. I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. But on top of all that, he just happens to be wearing the number 55 jersey when Satan is 55, fallen angel 55, lightning 55. You know, it's interesting, Zach, I never saw you do a decode on this, connecting it to Barack Obama. We know now, after what you said about me today, we know you watch my videos. So it's interesting how you never made the connection here to Obama. I guess I didn't steal this one from you, right? But yeah, he just happens to be wearing the number 55 jersey when Satan is 55, fallen angel 55, and lightning 55 when Satan falls like lightning. Wow. And I'm sure it's a coincidence that Lil Nas X is 44 like lightning 44, like fallen angel 44, and Obama's number 44. I'm sure it's all a big coincidence. And his name Montero equals lightning, and Montero equals Satan and Baphomet, and he's got a Baphomet on the shoe. You know, it's all a coincidence. But anyways, I've gone long enough. But yep, there you go. Lil Nas X, 19.2, 192 like Obama. Luke 10:18, Satan shoes. Satan shoes equals Antichrist. Do we still have it up? We sure do. Satan shoes equals Antichrist, including the 149. How many days were left in the year when Obama was born? Was it 149? Was he born on the 216th day of the year? 6 times 6 times 6? But there you go. It's all a coincidence that Obama was represented in that video with the 10:18 Satan shoes. Oh, by the way, this is years after I already was making the connection between Obama and Lil Nas X, for the record. I was already making the connection between them when that video came out. So, booyah. Much love, everyone. All right. How was the sound? Was it okay? Let's see. Can I scroll up today? Oh, look at that. I can scroll up. In the first live stream, after a couple hours, it wouldn't let me scroll up. The sound is great. Fantastic. All right, guys. I'm ready to go get some fresh air. Thank you, Shay, Bonnie, Maggie, Bones, Vengeance, Julie, Samantha, Robin. Yeah, touch grass, yeah. Who else was in here? Michael, Shay, and everybody that I missed. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And anyway, sorry I got you know what? I'm not even sorry. I'm not sorry that I got animated. It is what it is. It's who I am. You guys know I'm, you know, sometimes I have rough days. Sometimes I have good days. Today has been kind of a rough day. So, but I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for feeling human. You know, got this guy, and he's not the only guy. Let's not forget about, should I even mention him at this point? Well, I mean, since I've already gone this far, you know our friend, Mr. Garo, you know, Mr. J Liar's channel. He'll be live again. He's been going on and on about me and Franchot now. Now that me and Franchot are tight again. As you know, me and Franchot had a little falling out a little while back, but we're buddies again, and it really seems to bother Garo for some reason. So now he's attacking me, and we had a whole situation on Cody's channel where I'm a moderator on Cody's channel, and some people were talking about Garo, and I didn't jump to his defense immediately and you know, block the people or whatever he wanted me to do. So now he's going on and on how I'm a devil, I'm a hellbound heathen, and all you guys who watch me are robots, and he says I'm the worst decoder out there. What else does he say? Yeah, pretty much that's it. I'm a devil. I'm going to hell. My decodes are the worst out there. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, he goes on twice a day talking about me. So I got him going on about me. I got Zach talking about me in his live stream earlier. Again, he didn't mention me by name, but he talked about me stealing his decodes and how he referred to me as the guy who begs for money in the name of Jesus. He's talking about me. And like I said earlier, last year, you can go find this video. I don't know if it might be hard to find it. I don't remember if I was in the title or not. But if you do listen to it, sorry about my bad language. But it was right after. What a sick guy. Right after my dad died, he made a video, horrible decode, trying to prove that my dad was sacrificed and I'm somehow connected. You know, because I don't like Zach because he bashes Jesus and me. That means I'm connected to the Jesuits and I've like infiltrated this gematria community. And my dad was obviously killed in some kind of a Jesuit ritual. And he said something like, on a normal year, it would be 201 days from his birthday, but it was a leap year, so it wasn't too. It's like, wow. Right after my dad died, he tried to insinuate that my dad was sacrificed by the Jesuits. No, sadly, my dad died from a fentanyl overdose. Sad story. My dad's been in prison most of my life, and unfortunate. I grew up in foster care, and when he was around, when he wasn't in prison, he was a good dad, and yeah, can't talk too much about it, but yeah, he was not sacrificed. He unfortunately, he believed in Jesus, but he just couldn't overcome his addiction. Sorry, guys. Or not sorry. Again, I'm human. You know? I knew I shouldn't have brought it up, because if I did, I was going to cry. But, oh well. I'm human. Here, I'll show you some pictures real quick. So here's one. That's me and my dad. We have the same name, by the way. He was Joseph Vincent Acquaviva. I'm Joseph Stephen. That's me and him. That's me as a baby. And there we are. But yeah, he never apologized for, saying my dad was killed or sacrificed. No, he had a bad drug problem his whole life. That's why I grew up in the system. It's just unfortunate, but yep, I had to take him off life support. He was on life support for about 4 days, and he had no brain activity. And I drove across the state and all I can say is at least I was there, while he was still breathing on a machine, but, I got to at least feel his warm body before he died, and the doctor said there's nothing they can do, no brain activity, and he was getting worse. He was starting to swell up and stuff, so they took him off life support. So, but yeah, Zach, he was not ritually sacrificed. He died because of his drug addiction, which he had my whole life. That's why my parents lost custody of me when I was 7 years old. It has nothing to do with a ritual. I lived with my aunt from 7 to 10, and then from 10 to 12, I lived with my grandpa. Then from 12 to 13, I was in 3 different foster cares, 3 different foster homes, and then from 13 to 18, I lived with my grandma. But yeah, sorry, not sorry. I don't know, man. I didn't plan on getting emotional today, but yeah. I can't believe that dude. I haven't said anything about that dude in a long time, and I can't believe he's over there still running his mouth about me today, saying that I steal his stuff. Your stuff is trash. Your decodes. You want to talk about bad decodes? You guys see my slideshows. My slideshows have like 20 to 30 slides. He spends, and I sit here and I build slideshows. He puts like no effort into it, man. He does like two to 5 numbers on a decode. But anyways, this ain't about I'm better than him or anything like that. It's just the guy constantly bashes on me, people who believe in Jesus, and he hasn't apologized. The video's still up for saying my dad was ritually sacrificed, and he made the video right after my dad died. So that should tell you everything you need to know about that dude. Dude also said he's an Ozzy Osbourne fan yesterday. That's weird. How can you be in the truth community and you're a fan of Ozzy Osbourne? Weird, man. But anyways, let me wrap this up. Spiritual warfare, man. Off the charts. And back to our friend Garo. He actually, because you know what happened? My channels got deleted right before my dad died. I had 2 channels. One of them had 18,000 subs. They got deleted right before my dad died, and he was hating on me back then. And he was saying on his channel that I was probably making it up about my dad. That's what he said. But then I posted a picture of my dad's bracelet from the hospital, which had the name JosephAcquaviva on it because we got the same name. I posted a picture of me holding his hand. And when Jurassic actually saw that I wasn't lying and my dad was really dying in the hospital, then he said, "Oh, condolences, sorry, all that." And then he started being a little nicer. But at first, he insinuated that I was making the whole thing up. And then we were okay for a little while until people came into Cody's chat saying some stuff about Garo, and I didn't run to his defense. So now I'm a hellbound heathen devil again. All because I didn't defend him in somebody else's chat. When that's Cody's channel. That's his chat. I didn't want to interrupt Cody's flow. So, anyways, yeah. And they're not the only 2 that hate on me. There's a lot, but that's okay. Jesus is coming soon. That's all that matters. We're going to be out of here soon. I can't wait till there's no more hatred or trolls or liars and people wanting to stir up drama all the time. And again, I wouldn't have even mentioned these 2 today if they both mentioned me today. Jurassic Liars Garo, he mentions me every day, but he ran his mouth about me again today, saying he's talking about Franchot too. And then Zach Hubbard in his live stream today said I steal his decodes, and he referred to me as the guy who begs for money in the name of Jesus. He's talking about me. So, same guy who made a video saying my dad was sacrificed right after my dad died. How crazy, man. All because of what? Because I believe in Jesus? I don't know, man. I don't get some people. But anyways, I've rambled on enough and been animated enough and cried enough. It's been a long day. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Vengeance. Thank you, Shay. But yeah, I promise you my dad was not ritually sacrificed. That's ridiculous. He died from the same thing that got me taken away as a child. Drugs. You know? And that fentanyl is no joke. I think Watchman Adam did a video about it last week. And you know what's crazy? My dad used to even tell me about, you know, how dangerous this fentanyl is and all this stuff. And then he winds up dying from it. You know. Oh well, what can you do? He did believe in Jesus. He just, you know, I don't know if he was born again. It's one thing to believe in Jesus. It's another thing to be born again. I believed in Jesus my whole life. But I wasn't born again until 2019. Or, I don't know. I was living for the world until 2019. I used to idolize the NFL. I used to be a Donald Trump supporter. That's why I got this stupid tattoo. One of the biggest regrets in my life. I got idolatry, American flag on my arm. Patriotic equals 666. Star Spangled Banner equals 666. But yep, I used to be a big Donald Trump supporter. I went to like 4 Trump rallies, and like 3 of them I was in the front row, which means you have to get there really early. I was completely fluoridated, man. I was under heavy mind control. I used to love Fox News and Donald Trump and the NFL and drinking beer and all that. But thank God for waking me up in 2019. But yeah, my point, my dad believed in Jesus too, but he never stopped living for the world, so I don't know. Hopefully I'll see him in heaven one day soon. But either way, it's all in God's hands, so. Anyways, hopefully he'll be there. All right, guys, let me get out of here. I really need that fresh air now. Man, I'm going to pray when I get off of here that get behind me, Satan. Man, the spiritual warfare off the charts, man. I thought it was bad when my dad died the same week I got my channels deleted. But the spiritual warfare I've been going through since, like, it's been real bad since April. What is it, July? Man, like the last 3 months. I hope this means we're out of here soon. I hope, you know, that's why Satan's attacking so hard, because we're almost out of here. I do pray that it hurries up. Either Jesus comes soon, or they come to take me up out of here, or, you know, or like I always say, maybe the power will go out for good, but I don't think that's going to happen. They need the technology to keep pushing their fake news propaganda, and probably for the mark of the beast, they need that technology. So the power ain't going to go out forever. Might go out for 3 days or a week or something like that, but nope. My best hope is number one option, Jesus comes soon to get us, or they speed things up and come take me up out of here. I'm fine with either option. The sooner the better, man. I'm so ready. I've been doing this for so long, man. And even before I woke up in 2019, even though I was still living for the world, I knew we were in the end times. I've known that since I was like 10 years old. Pretty much ever since 9/11 happened, which happened in 2001. I was born in 91. Pretty much since then, I knew we were in the end times. But I was still living for the world until, you know, I guess I didn't take it very serious until God got my attention in a big way in 2019. And then when I finally said a sincere prayer of repentance and decided to put God first and lay down my idolatry. I used to sell memorabilia for a living. I used to sell autographed memorabilia, like Buccaneers memorabilia and stuff. But yep, once God got a hold of me, I laid all that down and stopped supporting the NFL. I was a season ticket holder and everything. Stopped supporting the NFL and politics and America and all that. And when I finally decided to put God first, that's when he started showing me the number 222 everywhere. Again, let me get out my list. Daniel 2:22, he revealeth the deep and secret things. Acts 2:22, the only verse with the 3 words miracles, signs, and wonders. The first verse of the Bible equals 222. Genesis 1:1, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. 222. The Book of Life 222. Jesus is the truth. 222. You must be born again. 222. Armageddon is 222. Hidden Codes 222. Key to the Universe 222. Key to the Apocalypse 222. Strong's 222. Flame of God, and Jesus the Lion of Judah is 222. And when I started seeing that number, this is before COVID and the world changed with that number 222. Remember, COVID was declared a pandemic 222 months from 9/11. Wuhan coronavirus 222. Obama tested positive 222 days from his birthday, declared a national emergency 222 days from his birthday. First U.S. case 222 days from Trump's birthday. So I was organically seeing the number 222 everywhere back in August of 2019, before I ever heard of gematria and before anyone in the world heard of COVID or coronavirus. I started telling all my friends and family, hey, I'm seeing this number 222. And I came across this article written by a pastor named Troy Brewer called 222 is After You. And then I realized, hey, I'm not the only one that sees this 222 number. But anyways, yeah, I started telling everyone something's coming, and then the whole world changed connected to that number 222. But again, when I was seeing it, I never heard of gematria, didn't even know what it was, and no one had ever heard of COVID. A few months later, the whole world changed connected to that number 222. So I do feel like I've been called to do this. For the record, called equals 222. That's in Sumerian. Let me just make sure I'm right on that. Called. Yep, called equals 222. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I've said that a few times now. Hey, Todd. Hey, Raymond. Yeah, well, we pray for Garo, we pray for Zach, that they will stop hating and hopefully do what do the right thing. I mean, Zach, you know, I guess I understand because he doesn't even believe in Jesus, but Garo does believe in Jesus. How can you say you believe in Jesus and hate on people that you don't agree with all day long? And call people a devil and a hellbound heathen, and also talk about, if you guys know his channel, he talks about a lot of weird stuff that you don't hear any other Christians talking about, just him. I don't want to get into it, but I don't know about that guy, man. I don't know. But yeah, let's pray for them. Hopefully they'll stop trolling and hating on me. And even if they don't, that's okay. I'm not going to give up because of them, that's for sure. I'm not going to give up for anything, right? Take that, Satan. Trust me, I've been through a whole lot in my life. I've been through much worse than this. Even though the spiritual warfare is worse than it's ever been, try going through foster care as a child. I imagine I went through that stuff as a child because it, you know, not that I'm like the toughest guy ever, but, you know, it does make you a little bit tough. Let's see, I was with my parents, my aunt, my grandpa, 3 foster homes. Hold on, let's count here. My parents, my aunt, my grandpa, 1, 2, 3 foster homes, and then my grandma, all by the age of 13. And it happened between the ages of 7 and 13. So I had all those different households within that short period of time. I like to say I was bounced around like a beach ball. So going through that does make you a little mentally tough. And trust me, I wouldn't be able to do this work if I wasn't mentally tough and if I didn't have God on my side. You know how many people would have given up by now after making 10,000 videos, 14 channels, and constantly censored, not monetized, by the way, never made one penny from YouTube. It's you guys that keep me going, so thank you so much to you guys. But a lot of people would have given up, you know, and then all the technical difficulties and glitches and all the stuff Satan keeps messing with. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going till Jesus comes. It doesn't matter if the audio goes in and out every day, or if my chat gets deleted, or if I get a strike, or my channel gets deleted. I mean, you know, imagine having 15,000 subs deleted. You come back, you get 18,000 subs deleted the same week that your dad dies. And then someone says your dad was sacrificed. But then you come right back and you keep going. You know, it'll be 1 year in August that my dad died. So next month will be 1 year. Still here, still going. Gonna keep going, gonna keep kicking Satan's butt. I said ass earlier. I said it again. Oops. My bad. Bad word, I know. But yeah, I'm gonna keep kicking Satan's butt until Jesus comes. That's all I can do. Can't just sit here and watch it all go down and not try to help anyone out. Amen? Alright, guys. I'm out. Raymond, sorry to hear that. Raymond said his dad died 4 days ago. Much love to you, Raymond, and your family, and prayers for you and your family for what you're going through. I know the feeling. Not a good feeling, that's for sure. You know. But yeah, condolences, brother. And everybody else in the chat that's lost a parent or a close loved one, I know how it feels. My grandma, who raised me from 13 to 18, she passed away in 2017. That was rough for me. I spent 2 years drinking an 18-pack of beer every night, and then switched from beer to vodka, and that was no good. But yeah, I went through a downward spiral with that for a couple years. So I've overcome a lot. I don't tell you guys everything. I used to be addicted to alcohol. I used to have a gambling addiction. I was addicted to the old Texas Hold'em. Overcame that. Overcame a lot of struggles. I was addicted to the NFL and Fox News and all that. Now look at me. I'm exposing it all day, every day. He turned my life around. He did it for me. He can do it for you. But yeah, just put God number one in your life. That's the key. When you put God number one, everything else flows from that. You must be born again. And in order to be born again, God has got to be number one in your life. You can't put anything above God. And once you start exposing evil, that's when all the haters will come out. Anyways, guys. Yeah, sorry to everyone who's lost a loved one. Dave and Todd, you guys, everyone. But yeah, let me get out of here, guys. I've rambled on long enough. I've been live a lot the last couple of days. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe we'll just do a regular video and not a live stream tomorrow. But I said that with, what's his name? Cody can't remember his name either. Is it Malcolm Jamal Warner? I just think Theo Huxtable. I said in that live stream, I said maybe it'll be a nice quiet rest of the day. And maybe nothing will happen the rest of the day. What happened? Ozzy Osbourne died. So, we'll see. You guys know if there's something real huge, I will cover it. But I wouldn't mind if there was no big news for at least the next 12 hours. I could use a break. All right, guys. Yeah, Maggie. Yeah, Dave, I'm available for departure today or any other day. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. I can't wait till Jesus comes. All right, guys, thank you for being here today. Thank you for being part of the channel. Please leave a comment after the fact if you want. Helps out the algorithm. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. Please hit the like and the share on the way out. Very much appreciated. And yeah, have a great rest of your night. This was definitely a unexpected performance by me. Not a performance, just show, whatever you want to call it. I didn't expect to get emotional or animated or anything, but sometimes it happens. So hopefully you learned something about it. And even though I got animated and started crying a little bit, hopefully you will still share this. Don't be ashamed or afraid to share it, because the information in here is solid, and that's what matters. Yeah, Dave, I appreciate it. That's one thing about me. I'm a real one. I am a real one. So, all right, guys. I'll catch you later on the next video. Much love, everyone. As always, keep looking up. We are living in the biblical end of days. Jesus is coming very soon. I can't wait. And I'll see you guys on the next video. God bless.